I'm the type of person that finds beauty in everything. I truly see it and try to hold on to those perfect moments. I feel it, trying to capture just how wonderful it is to simply stroll through nature itself. I smile and I even skip like a child. I dance and twirl through life. I challenge myself and laugh through life's struggles. So why is it for 1 week of every month I sink? So today I'm talking about PMDD. Why? What is PMDD? Why am I talking about it? Also, why is my hair in this very 90s style quiff? Because I already did 2 takes of this video and the hair kept going in my mouth. PMDD is basically PMS on crack. Or the formal way of actually saying PMDD is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. You can see why they've just abbreviated it to PMDD because I'm never going to remember that. I just had to Google it to make sure that I said the right thing. So the reason that PMDD and PMS are sometimes confused is that they have similar symptoms. However, the symptoms are much more extreme if you have PMDD. So if you have PMS, you will experience things like fatigue, feeling a bit sleepy. In the PMDD world, it's not just fatigue and feeling sleepy, it's sleeping all day. Do it every month. Another one, PMS, you have mood changes. You can be irritable, snappy, some say sassy. PMDD, you are irritable and depressed. Now that is the biggest difference. There's a low mood with PMS. There is depression with PMDD. So you completely sink. Figuring out if it's PMS or PMDD when it comes to your low mood is asking yourself what thoughts come along with that low mood, because PMS, it's usually sadness, you're just feeling a bit grumpy, you're not too sure why, just a bit gloomy. PMDD, you will literally have suicidal thoughts encroaching into your life when normally you are just, your stable, usual, enjoying living life self. And it's often very unfamiliar territory. So if for the 3 weeks that you're fine in the month, you never have suicidal thoughts, and then 1 week out of the month you do, it's likely to be PMDD. Other similarities between PMS and PMDD are anxiety, food cravings, and a general life sucks attitude. However, there are additional symptoms to PMDD. So I've pulled up the symptoms on my trusty old laptop to help because I am quite forgetful. So lasting irritability or anger that may affect other people. Feeling of sadness or despair or even thoughts of suicide. Feelings of tension and anxiety. Panic attack, mood swings or crying very often. Lack of interest in daily activities and relationships. Trouble thinking and focusing. Tiredness and low energy. Food cravings and binge eating. Trouble sleeping. Feeling out of control. Physical symptoms such as cramps, bloating, breast tenderness, headaches and joint and muscle pain. Honestly, I have every single symptom. So at this point, maybe some people are thinking, oh, you're clearly just depressed. You need to get yourself to the doctors and sort out that depression. There you've gone. But the reality of the situation is people with PMDD only get these symptoms the lead up to their period. So you only have it for 1 week out of the month or less than. Some months I have these symptoms for 3 days and at the worst I have them for 7 days. But for the remainder of the month, I'm hunky-dory. And this does not sit with any depression disorder other than PMDD, which is now classified as a depression disorder, but it is solely linked to a woman's cycle. To qualify for this lucky disorder, you have to have 5 of the symptoms out of all of the symptoms that I just read out to you, and it has to be on the lead up to your period, the week window before your period. If you get all of those symptoms outside of that week window, it is not PMDD. It will be something like, stress and anxiety, depression, some form of depression that you might be suffering with. Of course, you can get one isolated symptom every now and then, like sometimes I'll feel anxious one day. It's circumstantial, it's not my general being. So if something happens that's sad, I may feel sad, that's fine. It does not mean, oh, I must not have PMDD because I was also sad on the 24th of the month as opposed to just the 6th of the month. You don't need to go into that overthinking frenzy place. Now, everywhere I've read, it says that only 5% of women suffer from PMDD and 80% of women suffer from PMS. So PMS is much more common, it's more socially accepted, and there's even constant jokes about women with PMS symptoms. Oh, it's that time of the month, is it? And all of those really, really irritating jokes we've all had to endure since beginning our cycles. So how have I come to conclude that I have PMDD? Well, it started a year ago when I was feeling pretty low and I didn't notice the pattern to it. I never thought it was anything to do with a hormonal imbalance or, something with a name to it. And I went to the doctors and they recommended I go on antidepressants. Which was just something that I did not want to do because one of the main side effects of antidepressants is to have suicidal thoughts and kill yourself. So to me, it seemed kind of counterproductive. So I pushed for private counselling under the NHS and got that. So for anyone out there that's just feeling generally depressed and they've realised through this video they don't have PMDD, but they definitely do have some form of depression, and you think you'd benefit from talking to someone, push for it, because they do have it on the NHS, but they're just very reluctant to give you that because they'd rather mask the problem with tablets. As I began counselling, she did actually help with a lot of problems that I just had sort of buried down, and that was all fine, and I found a lot of resolution. But she said herself that I don't need to be there. She said that I'm very self-analytical and I look to the root of my problems, and there was just a few little things that I hadn't really thought of. She put it in front of me. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, that's a good realisation. Great stuff. And there was just no necessity for me to go in and sit and talk with this lady anymore. So issues ironed out, still feeling pretty down once a month. I was then on a cycle tracking app because I didn't want to be on contraception. So I've already come off of contraception at this point and I'm now tracking my cycles. And it's been during lockdown, because life has got less busy, that I've really been able to home in on the exact timings of these symptoms that occur, and it is complete clockwork once a month the week before I come on. So I googled depression around periods. That's the first thing I googled, and PMS came up, and I thought it's way more severe than that. I'm like honestly in bed crying saying there's no point to my life. Then I was stumbling through all of these articles and voila, I found PMDD. Back to Google, PMDD. Whew, loads of stuff comes up on it. So for anyone that has stumbled across this video for the first time because they have googled PMDD or just stumbled across it and had a realisation that you also might have it, you are not alone. The biggest thing for me throughout all of this was I felt like every month I was going insane. I had no explanation for it. There was no reason for my low moods. There was just no reason for any of it. And now there's a bit of relief. I can let my shoulders relax. I'm like, oh, it's not me. It's not just me. I'm not the only one. But there's also some sadness to that because I'm not the only one. There's a lot of us out there. And I actually would argue that there's a lot more than 5% of women. I just think that this is not spoken of enough and we don't know enough about it. I did 2 very small Instagram stories about this, simply asking the question, have you heard of PMDD? Would you like me to do a video about it? And a very brief explanation of what it was. I instantly got several messages from women that I know and didn't know saying, oh my God, I thought it was just me. I've never spoken to anyone about this before. I felt so alone. I feel depressed every month. I have suicidal thoughts. I didn't dare tell anyone. It's always just before my period. And That to me instantly, that snippet of people just shows that there's more people out there than what they've got recorded to have had or have PMDD. Okay, so what can we do about it? Well, the doctors, or the information online, they suggest that you, one, go back on contraception if you've come off it, which if you've come off it is for a reason, so I doubt you'd want to go back on it. I know personally I will never touch contraception again. I feel that it may be a contribution for me having PMDD, so there's no way I will ever go back onto contraception. 2 is to go on to some form of antidepressant, which I just don't think that the few days, the 3 to 7 days that I feel down a month warrants me being on lifetime medication. Or 3, now this is a biggie, cut your ovaries out. Yeah, that's one of their solutions. Just take your ovaries out. Okay, no, thank you. And this is what I hate about the sort of pharmaceutical industry. Giving me a tablet to mask a problem does not help, it simply masks the problem. It's like putting concealer on a spot. The spot's still there. You need to look at your diet or what you put in on your face. We can't keep masking it. A very, very easy example of this is when you get a headache, you take paracetamol and the headache's gone. No, it's not. The headache's there. You've just masked it. You've just changed the receptors so you don't feel that pain anymore. But what I always do is go, oh, I've got a headache. Maybe I'm dehydrated. Am I a bit stressed out? Like, what's caused this headache? Oh, yeah, I've not drank enough water today. Go drink some water. And vamoosh, the headache be gone. Now, I know that PMDD isn't a silly little headache. However, I think the question we should be asking is why? Why have I got PMDD? Where does it come from? What's caused it? What's the root of the problem? Well, right now it doesn't look like they've got too much information on it, which also makes me inclined to believe that it could absolutely stem from contraception, which is why they're not doing the studies, because they don't want to add that to a list of side effects on their contraception. But I mean, that's a complete theory and a trail of thought I've had. That's just me wondering what other damage all these years of being on contraception could have caused, and me now having such a severe problem when I'm very healthy in all aspects of life. There's got to be a reason that this is happening. So since doing this video, I've actually done a heap load of research into contraception and how that could have caused hormonal imbalances to cause PMDD. I'll do an update video on that. And that is what I want to find out, why it's happening, and then I can look at genuinely fixing it. I don't want to mask it. No, I don't want your contraception pills that come with another heap load of side effects to mask this one that could also be a side effect of contraception anyway. No, thank you. I don't want antidepressants to mask my feelings and push them down and mask the problem. No, I don't. Even if they say, oh, but you know, those antidepressants will balance your hormones. Well, I'm sure there's natural remedies that can balance your hormones. I've also since researched natural remedies, and I think I may have found something that could help us all. So I'll also do an updated video for that once I've trialled it out for us. It's like ashwagandha or St. John's wort, just a couple of out of the thousands of herbal remedies that I could try, which is probably what I will do. And the final solution of having your ovaries taken out just blows my mind. And I'm sure for the women that have had that done, it's been very severe, and you know, their suicidal thoughts have turned into actions possibly. And I appreciate that everyone goes down their route that is right for them, but for me, having my ovaries removed would literally sink me into a real non-PMDD depression. So that's absolutely out of the question for me. So what can you do to help ease the symptoms in the meantime, for them finding solutions that isn't just masking the problem or removing body parts. If I have the symptom of anxiety during that week on the lead up to my period, I will take CBD, and it really, really does help. This also helps aid my sleep at night, because I also get insomnia when I have PMDD. I'm so restless, I have hot flashes and I can't sleep. So CBD is a really good one, and I recommend Cubid CBD. I do actually have a discount code. It's Claire20, so use that to get yourself some discount. I swear this whole video has not been about that discount code. I just happen to genuinely use it, and I do have a discount code. Another way just to help with the symptom is not to put too much pressure on yourself. So if you are able to take some time out during that week of literal hell for some of us, me, then just take some time out, like go to bed and sleep if that's what you need to do. Also, just reducing stress wherever possible and doing things to aid the reduction of stress. Lavender makes me feel very calm. If you get a bowl of hot water and put some lavender essential oil in it and just breathe that in, that should calm you down. And exercise. Exercise releases endorphins and makes you feel happier. Although I know that in my moments of PMDD, my very, very dark lows, if someone came into me and told me to exercise, I would probably punch them. So it's easy for me to say it now. I'm feeling happy and fine and my usual self, but in that moment I know it's such a struggle. But if you can at least introduce one or two other things, take some CBD, smell some nice aromatherapy, essential oils that relaxes you. Lavender really works for me. And even if it's not super physical exercise like running and stuff, like try and force yourself to go out for a walk. The sun is such a natural healer. Get out in the sun. And the foods. So foods, you need to be eating healthy plants, fruits and vegetables. But again, when I'm feeling down, I have crazy cravings. Well, all day I will not want to eat. I will lose my appetite, and then I will binge come the evening time. So again, I should practice what I preach. I'm not saying that I do everything that I'm recommending. I'm just saying I know that these are things that have been known to help and will help. So if you eat much better during that week, if you try and get some exercise, even meditation. Ultimately, PMDD is very severe, so we need to try and find something that can really help, and I'm on a mission to find it. So I'll check back in. I hope this has helped comfort anyone that's just found out they've got PMDD. You're not alone, and if you've got any questions, just direct message me. If I don't have the answer, I'll find it out for you, because it will help me just as much as it will help you. So I'm here, and don't feel alone. Just don't feel alone. Okay, peace. Bye.